All right, so last time you guys saved a small town on the edge of the frontier, got paid, kind of, in a sort of declaration from the mayor. He sent you with a document, and you were looking for a major city to cash this in inside the kingdom. Luckily, your banner is leading you toward your next contract, which is here in Wellton. It's a cloudless, breezy fall afternoon. You ghouls haven't had much difficulty getting here. The roads from Vanger, free of things like marauding skeletons and prowling fey creatures, were actually quite lovely this time of year, with the trees shedding their leaves and the sky slowly filling with winter constellations. Trouble only began to find you as you neared Welton, the sprawling city at the foot of the King's Mountains, known for its prolific natural springs, its frequent geological activity, and its distinguished Academy of the Sciences. The city has no walls, seeming to come on gradually, buildings becoming more frequent and densely packed until suddenly you're just in Wilton proper. People seem really touchy here. Having a blade on one's hip seems to be in vogue, and using said blade is foremost in the mind when dealing with anything from theft to spurned romance to haggling for pies. You once saw two men having at each other with wicked looking serrated weapons in full view of a patrol of mounted guardsmen. When they caught you staring, the guard captain asked you for your papers, completely nonplussed at your preoccupation with the spectacle just a few meters away. The deeper into the city you travel, the more uneasy the air feels. There's a volatility here. It's sourced just out of sight, but the signs are everywhere. The massive black carriage, that's your carriage, rolls over cobblestone up to a well appointed manor just on the edge of the wealthy part of Welton. You wouldn't call the house massive. In fact, it seems the most modest of any in the neighborhood, having a small yard with just a couple fruit trees out front instead of a marble fountain or a gatehouse like the rest. Two guards trot past on horses, one of the mounts catching the scent of your horses and nearly throwing its rider. After the guard brings his mount back under control, he rides on past, doing his best to pretend that the event never happened. The banner, having pulled you ever onward these past weeks, and upon reaching its intended destination, finally relaxes. You're here. Your next contract. Now, if you guys could just introduce the characters you're playing now, we'll get on with it.
The new guys, right?
Uh, Bree, if you're playing your old character, just say you're playing that character, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Just playing Fuse again. He'll be pretty quiet for the most part.
And of course, it's always Bobby.
I'm playing Ren and a newly buffed Dr. Bitey. So that'll be exciting and also a little awkward.
Yeah, Dr.
Nice.
Bitey has gotten a size upgrade. He used to be tiny, but now he's actually person sized.
Oh, cool.
My
Okay.
name is wrong on my token, by the way.
Your name is wrong? Is it supposed to be a W there?
Yeah.
Why don't you say something, girl?
Sorry.
Bam.
And then I'll be playing Hellborn Shade with Warrior Crom Sprite.
So
A
you
what?
joined us from the Sprite settlement, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about you new guys? Go ahead and introduce yourselves and describe yourselves so we can picture you in our minds.
Eki, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I am Professor von Dilfensmeyer, and I'll mean that you twats actually realize who I am. I will talk slowly for you so you can understand where I'm coming from with everything that I say and speak to you in each way. And, well, I sometimes have a tendency to trip over my own feet, but don't mind that. I've got what ails you. But be mindful that I don't take a sip of my special stash, or it'd be ending your life.
What race are you, by the way?
I am a hobgoblin. I stand at 5'5"
Cool.
in my early 30s.
All right. Um, Rui Tora, what you got for us?
Hello, I am Rui Tora. I am a tigerkin of the furkin race. I come from Shadowfell, by way of the I came from born. I born in the Feywild, and then I ended up in the Shadowfell and did lots of job there. I don't mind killing for the money, the right monies. If it's the right monies, uh, I like being here. It's good. I know the Nightshade. She old friend. She helped me in the Shadowfell. Learn my way around. Okay, nice to meet you.
Perfect. All right, so you guys have just pulled up to this in the Noble District over here to your north. You guys just pulled up to one of those houses in your black carriage. There's quite a few things for you to see out there. You know that this is where your contract is. What do you want to do?
Where's the contract?
Like your carriage is up here in this neighborhood. You've pulled up to one of these houses. This one, like the smallest one in the neighborhood.
In the Noble District.
That's right.
I'm assuming we're gonna let Mr. Bobby lead the way since he is the best talker, and I will probably follow him to talk with the noble as I'm trying to maybe emulate him a little bit and learn a little more.
Okay. Is there anything you guys want to know? Anything I mentioned in that opening monologue, or do you want to look at anything around your immediate surroundings, or do you want to move on with the stuff?
I want to know. Go ahead. I want to know the air.
Jeez.
What?
My wife was waiting for me to talk to do that.
I was like, is that Sam? Because he's a cat person.
He can't. He doesn't edit nothing out though.
No, I don't.
I'm a tiger, damn it.
I want to look around town and see if I can find this academy that you were speaking of and what it's all about.
All right.
I would,
See if I know anybody there.
If you put your hand to your eyes and you look around on the horizon, you'll see a large spire to your east that towers up into the sky. Although you know that's not the entirety of the academy, it is a part of it, and it marks it for you on the horizon. If you do a history check, I can tell you more about it.
So we haven't figured out what our job is yet, right?
Not yet.
Do they know anything, or just that we've been summoned?
All right. You know of the existence of the academy, but you don't know anything about it. Professor von Diffensmer, you must have gone to a different school.
Rin. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Rin is a little flabbergasted that this whole entire city has like 4 trees, and so she's feeling a little bit out of sorts here. She would like to, I don't know, find somebody to talk to find the most natural-ish part of town that she can feel comfortable with. That maybe she can retreat there if she needs to.
Okay. Let's see. On the street, you see a few people wandering around, although none of them are at this particular house. It looks like there are people running around with like peasant clothing on. They they kind of smell like staff to you, staff to some of these bigger houses. There's also a couple guards. One of them you spooked his horse earlier that they're trying to ride past.
So well, who do we talk to?
I think the staff are likely to give you more of a the lowdown than the important looking guys.
Hello, Bobby. You're very pretty.
Yes.
You think we should talk to the staffer?
Yeah. Let me do. Good evening.
Okay, so there are people, they're not at this house, but they're like walking down the street somewhere in the neighborhood. You guys want to wander or do you want to stay here?
I'm gonna wander and look for a shop that I can get some flask.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and roll a perception check. All right, you easily deduce that this is a residential area. The noble houses here are surrounded by a wall, and there's no shops per se. There's no bodegas for you to go shopping at in this particular neighborhood. That's elsewhere in the city.
Are there any like taverns or street vendors of any sort?
You saw some on your way in as you came up from the southwest. There's all sorts of inns and taverns and stuff. This place does a lot of trade.
Right. So like, could I approach any of the like? What I'm getting at is I want to approach any of the street vendors and or taverns that have like a window open to sell beer out the window of the street or something like that. You know, someplace that I might be able to ask a question.
Right. It would be a little bit of a walk. You'd have to walk out of the neighborhood and then down here to like somewhere down here or in the city to your northeast or up one of the other roads. This particular walled off area is residential. You might be able to find something here, but again, it's a walk.
Wait, so can you ping our exact location? Are we standing in our exact locations or?
All right,
Okay.
you're
we're
over
actually,
here.
You're over here. Okay. My apologies.
No worries, man.
Before go wandering off, let's go find who owes us money.
Out of the house's front door strides a tall, thin man in a smartly pressed suit. His mouth is hidden underneath an impressive salt and pepper mustache that dances and writhes like a caterpillar as he speaks. The master had not expected anyone to answer the call quite so quickly. Normally, an overly fortuitous arrival is cause for suspicion, but you smell of mercenary. Master Corvitas shall see you now.
Rui starts to sniff herself. Rui, smell?
Yes,
He,
not in a bad way.
the man lets out like a long suffering sigh and just turns on his heel and walks back toward the house, expecting you to follow.
I guess we'll follow.
Bitey kind of huffs at him all like, "Hoity-toity."
Before heading in, I want to look at the house and see if I see anything like escape windows, anything that may need to be used in a later fashion.
Okay.
Make sure you're cleaning out the boots.
Go ahead.
You're
Roll.
entering the house.
My bad. Roll a perception check if you want to look at stuff like that.
I'd like to roll one.
All right, your perception's good. It's modest for the neighborhood. While others seem to be using towering columns and marble flourishes, this home prefers a modest brick and wood in a conservative yet proud fashion. There's windows on the first and second floor, plenty big for people to fit through. There is a balcony facing out toward you guys over the front door. The fruit trees out front are not local. You know that. They're sherry trees.
This place here seems to have spent quite a bit of money. Perhaps there might be more lucrative ways around.
I don't like the way you're laughing.
I want more of it.
If you're gonna steal anything, don't get caught.
My dear sir, how dare you accuse me of theft? I am no petty thief.
I have
I am a
spoken.
man that peddles my wares.
The butler, the man that was talking to you guys, is purposefully not looking at you, but he has opened the front door and he's standing to the side, waiting for you to enter. You can tell he hears everything you say, but he's not responding to any of it. He is ever professional.
Fine,
Bitey
let's go
just
inside.
strolls in. Bitey just strolls in, leaving big muddy T-Rex footprints on the floor.
I said check your boots.
You can see the butler's eye twitch a little bit as the dinosaur walks into the house, but otherwise he says nothing.
Lark follows and kind of smiles.
So are all you going in, or some of you going to stay out here and make trouble or do whatever you want to do?
Bob's going in.
Yeah, I'll go in too. I'll probably just ride Mr. Bitey in.
I'll be right on Bobby's heels.
I'm back there somewhere. I'm a bit more of the investigative type due to my natural cat tendencies. You know, large
Be
cat.
careful.
You're a curious
Curiosity.
kitty. I get that.
Yeah, I'm gonna like basically look at and smell, investigate most everything. So I kind of lag behind because it takes me a while to walk down the hall. I'm just darting from one thing to another, like
Okay, man. You
Remember,
just
taking the lay of the land.
you just let me know what you want to do. How you want to play this while these guys role play this thing out. Tell me where you are and what you're doing, and we'll roll for things. Okay.
remember how much fun Becky had with those barrels. So
All right. So the
On the way into the door, Professor's gonna make a small mark on the door.
and the butler looks up at the mark and tilts his head to the side and gives you like a what the fuck look.
I have no time to explain it to you, simpleton. Just leave the mark alone.
Very good, master. Whatever you are. Would you please come inside?
Forgive him. He has OCD.
The man, the butler, ushers you inside the house. You step through the thick, incongruently ornate door into a parlor, round with doors to either side and stairs going up and straight ahead. Your eyes track the stairs up to the second floor and further up to a mounted manticore head, decoratively hung and framed by colorful cockatrice feathers. A man, seemingly made of muscle, ducks to exit the doorway on your right. His once white apron is stained with all manner of things. He waves a knife furiously over your heads as he bellows, "Why am I the last to know about the guest, butler? I laid on lunch for his lordship. I'll not have but scraps for this lot." You, Chef Grupnar, received just as much information as I. These are mercenaries answering the Master Corvidus's call, and they traveled with alacrity to arrive when they did.
Scraps? Did you say scraps? You say scraps?
Down,
Clean
Kitty.
scraps.
I'll not have guests going hungry on my fecking watch now. His lordship's got a reputation to keep, and by extension, so do I.
Okay, fine. You make food.
You do what you wish, but until the master hires them on, perhaps you should do something simple. Depending on how negotiations progress, they may not be staying long enough for food. So the cook, Grupnar, you guess, looks down at you, a vein in his forehead becoming more and more prevalent as the conversation goes on. And he whispers, "No, I shall feed them. I shall feed you all a meal you will never forget!" And he turns on his heel and stalks back in the direction of what you presume is the kitchen, having to turn his massive shoulders sideways to make it through the doorway. Everyone eats!
him.
Everyone eats!
I like him a lot.
The butler's professionalism never breaks. He simply says, "This way, please," and carefully ascends the stairs. The sound of pots and pans enduring abuse follows you up the stairs. Do you want to follow him, or what do you want to do?
Follow the butler.
Follow the butler.
All right.
Examine the manticore head.
I'm not gonna follow the butler.
Okay. What are you looking at?
So butler was front right, correct?
Butler is going up the stairs to your front. To the right is Chef Grupnar's kitchen.
All right. Are there any like is the stairs the only way to go up? Like is there a back right on the first floor?
Yes, there is a door going like behind the staircase. It looks small, but there is a door.
I'd like to go through that door.
Okay.
You're gonna go knock some glasses off of the cabinet in the kitchen.
Something like that.
Okay. So
my
this.
my end goal is to get back around to the kitchen to ask the chef if he's got any milk.
All right. So you're going through a door that Grupnar didn't go through, though. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
if that's okay.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You do what you want. All right. So we're gonna deal with both you guys at the same time, pretty much. All right. You guys that went up the stairs, the butler stops in front of one of the doors to the left of the staircase. He raps sharply twice and opens the door. After poking his head inside, the butler bids you to enter without stepping in himself. The room is large enough to comfortably fit your carriage and team. In front of you is an imposing desk framed by man-sized windows. Bookshelves stuffed with tomes and oddities fill most available space on the walls, except for near the wide fireplace to your left. There are 4 chairs in the room, 2 in front of the fireplace, 1 in front of the desk, and 1 behind. Uh, Master Corvitas will see you momentarily. Please wait here. Sam, your door leads you into a small. It looks like a cleaning closet. It's got brooms and a couple mops and buckets and a little tap. It looks like the city has plumbing, and so does the house. And you can hear some sort of mumbling voices coming from the wall in front of you as you step in.
Can I perceive to see if there's like a way through that wall or a door, a passageway, something?
You can roll perception. Do whatever you want. What are you looking for? Like a way through?
Yeah. Oh, like I would just want to try to figure out how to get, I guess, to the like. So, is there no connector to the kitchen from this broom closet? I suppose.
No, this is just a broom closet. No exits.
Okay. Well, in that case, can I? What would I need to roll to perceive the voices on the other side of the wall? Insight, perception.
This is perception. And being a cat person, do you get advantage on these or something like that, or is that not a thing?
You know, I would think that I would. They didn't write anything in the loose description of the race, but I mean, we can. I mean,
Well, if it's not a thing that they wrote, that's fine. We'll go with your high roll right now.
okay.
Okay, so
Because I was going to ask about that.
I know that
We'll ask later.
Tabaxi is a race, but I didn't actually look and see what their racial stats were.
All right. Well, I need to. Yeah, we'll do it later.
Okay, you've got a pretty high perception roll. As you strain to listen, the voices kind of resolve themselves into two distinct things. There is a sort of an older, huskier voice, and a younger, higher pitched, more spry voice. They seem to be arguing a little bit. One of the younger one is saying something you don't catch every word, but it's something along the lines of, "I just wish I didn't have to tell this story all the damn time. I mean, I've made my report. Can't they just read it?" And the deeper, gruffer one, like the older one, you can't really understand him super well through the wall. It's like,
Okay. And in that case, for the next little bit, I guess I'm going to leave the broom closet and head back towards the kitchen.
okay. You guys in the study, what do you guys want to do while you wait?
So, is this a study like a library study, or
There's a desk, there's a fireplace, there's bookshelves and trinkets and all sorts of stuff, and
I'm headed
a
straight
couple
to the
huge
bookshelf.
windows. All right.
Start looking through his books and trinkets to see if I notice anything.
Damn it, Hop. Leave this shit alone.
So you find a couple tomes on the history of Welton, and you find one on geological discoveries written by somebody at the academy. And next to those, you find a few blocks and tiny horses and soldiers that look like children's toys.
I just mumble something under my breath about using beasts as decoration and how BS that is. Just very about it.
You know, Ren, you didn't have to come in.
I'm
Uh,
just gonna read the books.
She's gonna walk over to Miss Nightshade and ask her if she knows where her kitty cat went to.
No, you never know with that one.
Damn it, the cat's gone?
Hope your friend doesn't get himself skewered and turned into a rug. And walk away.
well, he always lands on his feet, I would assume.
It's a she, but yes.
Sorry.
So, we're supposed to be meeting up here. He's the one supposed to pay us.
Offer a contract.
At least that's what your banner tells you. I wouldn't be able to.
I guess we'll just wait here.
Okay.
Fuse is gonna pull his sword out and start sharpening it, just to pass the time.
Okay. So let's see. Sam or Rui, where are you going now?
I'm gonna follow the wherever the cook went off, kind of stormed off into. I'm gonna kind of head down that way in a very curious manner.
Okay. You step through the doorway into a feast for your sight and for your smelling sense and your taste. You step into a kitchen. There are pots boiling on the stove. There is a bunch of fresh cut meat on the cutting board. There's herbs and stuff hanging from the ceiling. And Chef Grupnar has his back turned to you, and he has like a huge cleaver, and he's chopping down on like this huge hunk of meat, and like looks like he's really going to town on it. He looks a little pissed off, but that seems par for the course for what you've seen from him so far.
All right, I'm going to like fancily dance like over towards him. And is there a table that doesn't necessarily have food on it anywhere in the kitchen?
There's a little bit of counter space.
All right, well, I'm gonna kind of dance through the middle of the room, swipe a small piece of meat off of a counter, and toss it into my mouth, and to perch on that little piece of counter, kind of like a squat, like a Gopnik squat on the tower, and I guess by this time the cook would figure me out. I don't know if he
I don't
sees
know.
me or
Are you
not,
doing
but I'm
this
gonna
stealthily, or are you doing this out in the open?
I'm gonna do this stealthily, but I'm going to talk right when I land. So
Okay, stealth check for the swiping of the meat. Yep, he doesn't see anything. He's busily mumbling to himself and chopping up a big fucking thing of meat.
I land on the table real quiet like, and then I go, "Oh, hello, chef. Hello. Do you have the milk anywhere in the kitchen? Maybe I could have a little bit."
Ah, no, Kitty, no. Food not ready. Food is not ready yet. And he takes out like a cup of water and threatens you with it. He's going to throw it at you.
Oh, no reason for hostility, cook. No reason for hostility. I'm not your enemy.
The
I'm not
kitty
your
gets
enemy.
out of Grupnar's kitchen now.
Okay, okay. Okay.
I shall
You're
feed
crazy,
you,
you
but
crazy
not until it
monkey.
is time.
Is there a door on the other side of the kitchen I can go through, or was there only one door to the kitchen?
Yeah, there's a door to the backyard out the back of the kitchen.
Okay, I'm gonna go out the backyard then.
No, where are you going,
Okay,
Kitty?
okay, Rui,
Where do you go?
Rui, get out of the way. Bye. Bye,
His
man. Bye,
his
nice man.
shouts accompany you as you go out of the door. All right, so you guys in the study, you guys have been sitting there for a bit. Every once in a while, a draft blows by, and you see a bit of stationery on the desk blowing around whenever the wind changes a bit or whenever the air in the house changes. And the fireplace is burning down a little bit. You're still waiting for the Lord Corvitas.
After finishing the books on the shelf, I'm gonna go back outside and look at the manticore now.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and do. Let me see. What do you want to? You're looking at the manticore head. You're going to do a nature check, I believe.
Alright.
It's not terrible. Okay. So it's an off-puttingly humanoid-shaped head with a mane and a mouthful of dagger-like teeth. You wouldn't even know it was a manticore except for the mane.
I want to check the teeth.
Okay. You don't need to really worry about a roll for that one. The teeth are incredibly sharp. They're almost all like canine shaped. This is definitely a meat eater, whatever it ate whenever it was alive. And the
Is there any residue or anything left on the teeth at all, or had they been polished clean?
no, this has been up there for quite some time. It's quite dry, even though the eyes are marbles instead of actual eyes.
So, are you done with the manticore, or sorry?
I'm just gonna sit out here and study it.
Well, I would like to, I don't know, insight or investigation or something to see if there are. Well, I want to look for two things, I guess. I want to look for pictures of like his family, or you know, any, I guess, context, like photos and such. And then I'd also like to look around for like that. I'm scared to look at the stuff on his desk because obviously, but I'd like to look for like any like hidden safes or things out of place.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's see. You're looking for all manner of hidden stuff, or which of these things you're going to look for first?
Yeah, let's do the like hidden stuff, and then I'll do the obvious stuff because I can do that if he comes in, no
Okay.
problem.
Hidden stuff. Roll an investigation.
Oh boy.
I'm sure you're very good at that. Hey, not bad. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So you notice that a particular section of books on the bookshelf are actually a single unit. They're not actually singular books. And upon further investigation, you can see they can be moved aside, and there is a safe behind them. It's not a combination safe. It requires a key.
Fun. Anything else?
Searching for more hidden stuff.
I guess. I mean,
Okay. You can see that the chairs all are the same make, but they're foreign wood. Your ranger eyes can pick out that this is a foreign grain of wood. The one in front of the desk has scratches on the legs and arms, as well as marks from pencils and charcoal on the legs. And let's see what else is in here. That's about it for hidden stuff.
yeah.
So, Eki, I'm sorry, Professor. Outside, you hear like somebody clearing their throat behind you, and when you turn around, the butler is motioning for you to get back into the office, and two people two men are coming up the stairs behind him. It looks like the Lord is on his way to meet you guys.
Then I will slowly start walking back towards the office
Okay. In you go,
and mark the door before going in.
you mark the door. Okay. The butler's eye twitches, but he doesn't ask you anything this time. So you creak the door open, you come in, and behind you in stalks a man. His posture is hunched, and he carries his hands clasped behind his back. His eyes seem lost in thought, always looking off into the distance, never really making eye contact with any of you. His thinning gray hair is worn short and vaguely military. On the old man's heels is another, younger man, nearly the spitting image of the first, and if you'd have to guess, the young man is Lord Corvitus's son. Lord Corvitus drops into his seat behind the desk and finally seems to come back to the present and fix you all with an intense stare. Thank you all for coming. Forgive me, but I don't know you or your banner.
I'm gonna nudge Bobby to get him to talk.
Fine, I'll do the talking again. I pull out the letter that the mayor gave to us and hand it to him. You know where we can catch this?
Well, that's all very well and good, but this is not a bank. I assumed you were here because of my summons.
Ah, right, that.
I assume that you are a mercenary company, then?
Yes,
Very well. What is your company name, and who are all of you?
we are ghouls. I don't feel like saying the full title, so we'll just stay as ghouls.
The ghouls. As far as mercenary names go, that's not too bad. Eaters of the dead, cleaning up meshes that others would rather not pick up themselves.
Sounds about right. We do a little bit of everything. Depends on the money, though.
Oh, very well. I will check the provenance of your company as soon as I am able. First of all, let me tell you there are two parts to the contract that I mentioned in my summons. First, an investigation into the thing that attacked my son. The young man that came in with him sheepishly waves at all of you. His slumped shoulders and downcast eyes tell a story of acceptance of a huge to-do being made about him. I'll let him get to that in his own time, however. Poe is not the first one to be attacked unsuccessfully. Combine that with the climbing rate of missing persons cases, and we could be looking at an infestation instead of an isolated case. Our feckless or maliciously incompetent city guard have turned up nothing on these matters, and I wish to see you turn a fresh eye upon the case.
Will we be working with them or our own?
The guards have no idea you're here, but I will put in a good word for you so they don't actively impede your investigation.
Would they be willing to give us information?
They may, depending on how well you talk to them. The guards here are busy, very busy. The city has been going through a bit of a rough patch lately, and they've all got their own things to do. However, I'm sure having someone handle the problem for them will be appealing, considering you're not stepping on anyone's toes.
It depends if they get in our way or not.
What is the second part of your quest?
The second part of the contract we can negotiate later. It's far too sensitive to discuss with anyone not currently vetted or under contract. For now, I just want you to look around and investigate the monster that attacked Poe. Discover where it came from, where it is, what its heart looks on a pike.
I'm gonna walk towards Poe to try to do an investigation, see if I can see any bruising or any kind of medical defects going on.
Oh my.
So, sorry.
Go ahead.
So investigating is one thing, but killing is something completely different, and that will definitely be a different price.
I'm willing to pay all sorts of things for peace of mind. Hell, My no one in my family can come to the city anymore considering what's going on.
I don't know. The fact that this contract is open ended and the second part is unknown. Mm,
I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a standard monster hunt. Something wicked has snuck in amongst the sheep and is picking them off at its leisure. Why call in mercenaries from outside the city? Why not the guard? He steeples his fingers and leans in forward in his chair to rest his elbows on the desk. That's just for me to know, and hopefully for you to find out on your own. I have my suspicions, but I do not wish to introduce my bias into your investigation. Therefore, your contract for now is simple. Find the monster, kill it. If you discover the second part of your contract, come back to me and we will renegotiate your fee.
Hmm.
Okay,
I'm thinking we need a hard number for this first part.
Professor von Diffenschmer, you're looking for medical stuff wrong with Poe?
Medical stuff, any type of injuries that he has sustained, if I notice him or recognize anything, and then kind of investigate what he could actually handle.
Okay. Your investigation roll was really good. So you notice that as he walks and as he tries to like shy away from you, he has a bit of a limp on his right calf, like on his right leg. He's not walking like he should. He's a young man. He looks like he's spry, but he doesn't move like a man trained in any sort of martial ability. What else did you want to know?
I wanted to know what kind of equipment he seems to be carrying. If you said that everybody in this town seems to have a blade on their hip, surely he has one as well.
Right. This guy, he has a little knife at his hip. He's not carrying something overly big, but he's got one on his hip. It looks like a double-edged sort of thing.
So I have a question for the guy. Is it cool?
Yeah, go
Are you
ahead.
guys done? Okay. So sounds like there's some weirdness going on with the guard. You said we won't be stepping on anyone's toes, but does this mean that we can't count on their help when it comes to finishing off whatever it is that's doing all of this?
If I could count on the
Are we on?
fricking guard, I wouldn't have called you people. The guard seems to either be too incompetent to solve this on their own, or they don't care enough.
I can see they're not caring.
Come here, boy. There's something wrong with you, isn't there? I want to examine you a little more closely.
Now, Poe looks at you. He's rather terrified. You do not have the look of a man he'd like to be near. However, he looks at his father, and Lord Corvitas nods at him and says, "Will Poe tell your story?" Poe steps away from you, but then he begins to speak. I have a job on the Bend as a clerk. I was working late and could not get a carriage to bring me home, so I had to walk. The roads were nearly empty, and there was a heavy fog that day, so there were long stretches between when I would see other living souls. Anyway, I was walking and I heard voices somewhere out in the fog. Sometimes they sounded close to me, other times they were very far away. They said strange things, outlandish things that didn't seem to belong together. At times the voices would crescendo into a shout, and other times they spoke in whispers. Then I was hit by something. My head rang like someone had struck me a blow, and I saw nothing but white. The voices grew closer, and I was good and afraid by now, so I tried to run away from the speakers. The ground seemed very different, softer. It was unable to bear my weight like stone should. I was slow and blind. It was like being in a nightmare, but in this one I was wearing pants. I'm not sure how long I stumbled blindly through the fog, panting and gasping, but the voices got closer until I could feel their breaths on my skin. Then something took a bite out of me. My calf. Whether it was the pain or the fear or the exertion, I suddenly I could see a bit more. I had wandered off the main road and nearly even hit the divide. I moved as well as I could back to the main road and managed to flag down a late night cargo wagon. They took me to the guards' quarters. That is where I made my report.
You said something bit you. Let's see, let's see.
Well, I have been healed since then. It hasn't healed all the way, but I have had some of my calf grown back. Would it still be helpful to you?
Come, let us see.
Okay. So he sits down on one of the chairs and pulls up one of his pants legs. His right calf seems to be missing a large chunk out of the muscle. Although there's smooth skin over it. It's been healed a bit, either by magic or by potion, but you can tell there's something missing out of what his other one looks like. If you make a
I
medicine
grab
check, I can show you more, I guess.
I grab the leg and get really close to it and examine it.
Are you a doctor?
I have been called many things over time. But let's see now, Lottie. And I just get way, way comfortable and start to, smell it and give it a little taste and see if I can tell what kind of healing or anything.
You taste him. Okay. Um,
I taste him.
okay. Let me roll a d20 to see if he's weirded the fuck out. Yeah, he's weirded the fuck out.
Do you have plans for my person in the backyard? Or
Yes, I'm
like,
sorry.
I was
That
gonna
was a
run into people
long
and stuff?
dialogue thing. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say that uh, that if you didn't, I was gonna perch myself on the window seal outside the window, just kind of hanging out, just kind of minding my own business,
I was just
but
thinking about something like that.
but also listening to everything going on inside the room.
Okay, so you're out there. You see that there is a large window, and you see your friends inside talking to somebody, and the guy at the desk, his back is facing you. If you want to climb up there or climb into a tree or whatever, why don't you do an acrobatics check? That's not bad. So you're a kitty cat person. You can climb up things pretty well, and the house is made of wood and brick. So now you're perched up by the window. Neither of the straits have actually seen you yet.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay.
And so I can also see and listen to people down in the yard as well if you wanted to put some down there to give me information. If not, I'm still listening to everything that's going on inside so that I don't have to reiterate it all later.
Okay. There's
Um,
nobody in the backyard with you right now, but okay. Heather, go ahead.
yeah, sorry. So slightly intrigued with the boy's story, uh, Nightshade decides to poof herself across the room to right next to him and inspect his calf.
Is that a pixie?
Um, why, I am a sprite, sir. Totally different.
Oh, I am terribly sorry. I don't mean to. I didn't. I just. I'm going to shut up now.
It's okay. Um, Also, can I? Okay, since Nightshade is from the Shadow Realm, Shadowfell, uh, is there anything that she notices from his wound or from his story at all?
Okay. You know of a couple monsters that like to taunt and hunt in the night, although none of it really matches the profile entirely.
Okay.
Whenever you guys are examining the guy's missing meat on his calf, the measurements of it looks like it matches up to either a human mouth bite or something of similar size.
Come now, Letty. Have you felt any kind of lingering pain or anything out of the ordinary?
Other than
Have you
having
felt yourself?
other than having the meat out of my leg missing, no. I walk with a limp right now, but the healers tell me a couple more months of healing spells and I'll be okay.
Is there anybody in our group that would be good to do an Arcana like check of the room and his leg.
I was
Make
going
sure
to
you
ask if I can do a magic check to see if I could sense anything magical still remaining on it besides the healing.
You guys can do that if you want. Let me
we're
bring
doing
up
that check.
let me bring up my monster's lore page to make sure that there's a magical nature to this. I didn't write it down here.
Can I do a survival check to see if I can recognize any sort of
Nice.
foreign tracks or non-regular signs of entry or passage through the backyard area or surrounding areas?
You may. Okay, Professor von Doofenshmirtz, your Arcana check turns up that it does have a little bit of residual magic on it. You have to push really hard through the residual healing magics that's on it. It's like having a crime scene and like a dozen people come and sweep up their evidence and then dump it into the bin. But you do get a little bit of some kind of magic, some kind of like erratic sort of uh, unconventional magic from the wound.
Who treated you, boy?
Treat. Oh, it was the clerics from the temple district. We don't really imbibe a lot of healing potions around here. And then whenever he says that, his dad, Lord Corvitas, is like, he clears his throat. He's like, obviously, he hasn't gone anywhere alone since. None of my family or employees are allowed to go anywhere alone anymore.
Well, those clerics did a shoddy job, is all I can tell you.
Considering how much I'm paying them, they better not be doing a shitty job. And Rui, your survival check, you see some squirrel tracks and some people tracks. It looks like maybe the gardeners. It looks like it's all around the trees picking cherries, but that's it.
Roger, Roger.
You said they were that the voices were saying things that just didn't seem like they should go together.
Indeed,
Do
I
you
did.
remember?
Lots of
Do you
ranting.
remember what they were saying? Like even the words that didn't think they would go together. What were they?
It's just so much ranting. Lots of anger. Some references to places I thought I knew, like the school or a one of the inns around here or the divide, but none of it really fit together. Like it's like somebody put together a string of words that would never go together in the same sentence, in a book, in speech, anything. It's just words.
Like different people were trying to speak at the same time.
Strangely, maybe there were a lot of voices, as I said.
So the divide. What can you tell us about that?
The
Were they
divide has
around
been
here?
here for a long time. The divide is the big gash in the middle of our town, the giant wound that separates some of the districts of the city. It's a geological event that happened a long time ago before any of us were born, but we've lived with it forever.
So what is it? A giant crevasse?
Indeed, very, very long way down. This place is very geologically active, and it's such a long way down that the rivers can run into it as much as they want. They don't come out until they get about 100 miles to the south of here. It goes into an underground cavern, from what I've been told.
You said it separates parts of your city. What parts does it separate?
If you look at the map, you can see.
I know, but what I mean
Okay.
is, like, is it the good side of the tracks? You know, that kind of thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, do the do the have not live on the other side or something?
So
Is
Poe speaks
that
up, and he says, well, right now you and I are on the western side of the divide. The divide doesn't divide, you know, classes or races or anything like that, but it does divide the city. The temple district is almost right next to the academy, but the two could never actually interact because the divide is right there, and you'd have to go all the way around to the bridge to get there. The slums are over here next to us, and the bend itself is what we call the road whenever it goes around the crevasse and to the trade district.
Oh, boss man, this ain't gonna be cheap. You want us to? do this.
I'm not looking for cheap, I'm looking for results. Hell, if I could pay the guards the same money and have them do it, I would have them do it. But they're morons. Or corrupt. Either way, I'd rather have my money going to good adventurers instead.
We're gonna need 6,000 to start. Grease a few palms, places, eat, sleep.
How much
We'll
was
know
that?
home. 6,000.
6,000, and you want it up front?
Yes.
That sounds
That,
like bullshit, son, but that's a good place to start.
like you said, if we find anything more that's, well, we'll have to discuss more afterwards. But 6,000 is a good start.
Upfront money I'm not okay with, but I can do something for you. I can put you up in an inn called the Bell's Bounty, near the bend where we are fairly sure the attack took place. I will cover all your expenses for housing and food. The rest I would like to leave up to you. If my money is traced back to this investigation, I'm not sure what will happen to me and my family.
So you buying the stuff for us is not going to trace it back.
I know of an inn that has a nice bit of discretion. And if you come to me with a valid use of my money, I can give you cash in hand for whatever you need to do. Also, if you're trying to convince him to do stuff, you'll have to roll some persuasion or something.
Yeah.
Now listen here, sir. We are not some ragtag group that you can just flaunt away. There's obviously something else going on in the background that you don't want anybody to know about. And if you want this done discreetly without your name being brought out in public, you might want to listen a little more closely to what we ask. We ask only for fairness.
Give me a persuasion check. Now listen,
Okay.
listen
I
here,
am.
you
I am.
fucking
Wait. Stop. I am going to use my racial feat. That allows me to re-roll that. Saving face gives me a +5 to it, so at least I get +5 to it. 16.
Okay. So you wanted him.
So
You were threatening him, right?
no, I was not threatening him. I was just making sure that he understands and hears us clearly before I start doing other things.
You're a piece of shit. However, I understand your plight. I've been on the road more than once, and I, despite my appearance, was an adventurer back in the day. I know what it's like to have to get through things without enough support. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a bit of walking around money, enough to give you some people some bribes, but none of it can be traceable back to me. Use the utmost discretion, or I'll have you fucking disappeared.
So is your gold labeled with your name on it?
No. But giving someone
No
cash and
worries.
having them carry it around is very, very suspicious. And with this, the door flies open with like a boom. Chef Grupnar charges in, trays in hand stacked with steaming meat, sliced thin on top of porous bread and melted cheeses. And in a net dangling by his legs are multiple bottles of wine. He grips the net's rope in his teeth and he's like, "Rawr!" The chef stomps into the room, snarling as he elbows through the crowd and sets his burden down upon the heavy desk on top of all the documents. Lord Corvitas looks down at the tray and up at Chef Grupnar. His eyes kind of soften slightly. Thank you, Grupnar. Your food looks and smells immaculate as always. And Grupnar's like, God's damned right it does. His lips curl up into a snarl and looks you all in the eyes, as in turn, as if to dare you to disagree. Bon appetit, little fucking adventurers.
Is the window locked?
No, and he holds up like a little. He like reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a dainty little bottle of milk, shakes it and puts it down the desk as well. And Lord Corvitas is quite confused at this, but then the chef storms out, and the door creaks on his way out like he like shoulder checks it.
I'd like to walk over to the window and open it for Rui.
Okay.
What is your robot doing? He's opening the window.
Oh, hello.
Oh no, you've let in a stray.
A stray. What?
Don't worry, Nightshade keeps her pets pretty close.
Oh, Ryu is no one's pet. Ryu is friend.
Could have fooled me.
My God.
Spidey's like salivating and chopping his like clicking his jaws. Like, you guys better hurry.
In about half a second, Ryu traverses the room and has the bottle of milk in her hand, and is it's gone.
Now I know about the bottle of milk. Don't worry about Chef Grupnar. He's a sweetheart.
Why is there a loud
I
bang
like
at
him.
the door?
There's a loud banging at the front door.
All right. So Lord Corvitas does not respond to it at all. He doesn't actually do anything, but you can hear a brisk walk up to the door over like the wooden floor, and the door opens. I guess it's the butler doing it.
Ryu's eating some of the food off the tray.
Fuse is keeping an eye on the noise toward the front just because he doesn't eat and drink.
Spidey is thrashing the food.
I've been meaning to ask you about your dinosaur companion. I've seen a couple of those in my travels. Where did you get him?
Well, he was an egg. A present from my parents when I was only like 30. So we've kind of grown up together.
Have I told you about the time I was out hunting dinosaurs in my youth? And Poe rolls his eyes like, oh, please do not let him talk about his adventuring days. Just eat your food. Dad?
I'd rather you not.
Can we move on? All right, Professor
rather
von
you not.
Diffelschmer, what is at the front door? What has the butler done?
Ryu finishes eating and goes back to the window seal.
There's a continuous banging at the front door, and now there's a noxious odor coming from the study's door.
Perfect. So Lord Corvitas and Poe are both sniffing. They're both kind of blue blood noble type folks, so they're not really used to that sort of thing. And you can hear like hacking and gagging from the front room. And the butler, or at least the sound of the butler, comes. His footsteps come upstairs. He opens the door, and you gotta work with me here, Ike. I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I am magically tinkering. I have created a nonverbal noise at the front door and a noxious odor coming from the study's door. This odor should be sulfur
So
in
you're
nature smell.
you're making fake farts at all the doors?
No,
I'm making a knocking, a distraction at the front door, and an odor to keep people out of the study.
Okay. So the butler pokes his head in and checks that everybody's okay, and then he goes back. He nods and says, "If you don't mind, sir, I will get back to my duties." And he closes the door, and you can see, or you can hear him kind of wandering around the hallway, looking for the source of the smell, but he hasn't quite found it.
has the smell gotten to the window yet? Maggie? Or is it contained around the doorway?
What is this all leading up to, Eki?
He died from the noxious fumes.
He did.
Yeah, he might have had to go AFK for the kid.
He's role playing a
What a
dirty
time.
diaper.
Spidey doesn't even seem phased. He's just continuing to nosh.
With all that weird knocking and smelling aside, You said some spending money.
So Lord Corvitas is kind of trying to keep himself from being distracted by the banging at the door now, since it's constant. He's like, I thought I'd give you about 500 gold pieces to take around with you. Could someone fucking stop that shit?
Rui jumps out of the window back down to the. Or not jumps, whatever. Makes her way back down to the ground. And proceeds to head around the front side of the house.
Oh, now we've let the cat out.
Rin's just, nodding along with them, trying to support, I guess, our fellow mad scientists, or our mad scientists of the party.
As I was saying, 500 gold pieces should let you wander around without having too big of a purse. It won't make you a target.
500 doesn't go very far between all of us.
Okay, so
And
Eki,
this slight, discomforts.
now that you're back, what the fuck?
Sorry, wife. What?
Well, now we've
Magical
got
tinkering
now
lets me
we've
do
got
fun
a
things.
now we got a noxious smell and a banging at the door. I thought you had like a plan or something.
Oh, I do. And it's coming up right now.
Okay, so the butler is out in the hall
500.
investigating, and now the cat is out there too. Go
Well,
ahead.
hold on. If Eki's back, he can answer the question. Eki, is the smell? Does it waft around? Like, is it getting towards the window? Because I'm back at the window. So, is it coming towards the window, or is it still like contained around the doorway?
That's up to the GM's discretion on that one. It's just a odor that stays there, and I chose an odor of sulfur or H2S.
You guys can definitely smell it, but it's stronger out in the hallway. You can hear the butler gagging as he looks for the source.
Because what I'm getting at is, if it reaches the window and I smell it, I'm going to be offended by it, so I'm going to leave. So that's what I'm posing to you.
All right, Tanith,
Gotcha.
go ahead and do a. Did you want to do this stealthily, surreptitiously?
Everybody's eating. I'm just gonna take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Rui looks. Okay, so sorry. Eki, I don't know how your stuff works. Do you have to mark through it in order to make it go away? Is it timed? Basically, like
It's permanent
Rui,
unless I end it.
Yeah. Oh, unless you end. So you can end it from where you are.
I can literally end it from where I am.
All right, then I won't mess it because I was going to state that Rui looks over to you as if to gauge a signal to go and remove the mark from the front door if need be. I was just going to go take a claw and like scratch through it to disable it, but if you can take care of it, then I won't worry about it.
Yeah, I can take an action and end it early.
Okay.
End it prematurely.
Okay, so yes, 500 gold for walking around money. You can always come back for more if you can justify the expenditure. Do we have a poltergeist problem in the house again?
Again.
Yes, again. My daughter was
That's-
obsessed with the television for a while, and then she was shucked in.
You
Is
know,
that common around these parts?
No, most people are
we
too.
may have a way to cure these problems,
I'll fucking
but
cure it for
500
you.
wouldn't be the way I would fit. Don't be testy with me, man. I will speak very slow and common for you. 500 is not enough to keep our wheels from being dry
Roll an intimidation
in
check.
order to help us continue. This is not the character to be doing this with. I told you.
He is unimpressed. He's like, your magic tricks, boy, they'll wear off when you are worn out. 500 is as high as I want to
if
go.
only you wish.
So you want receipts?
I'm not talking about receipts. I'm just talking about if you need more money, you come back here. For now, 500 gold is what I can do for you. Until I've vetted you at least.
Well,
Well,
they loved us in the last town we were at. Feel free to send a rider over there to get some stories.
Rui from the window seal looks at what's his name? Pato,
Lord Corvitas or Poe?
yeah, looks at Lord Corvitas. Um, Hello, Boschman, you have 100 gold now for me?
500 gold for the lot. And I'll give you directions to the inn I'll be paying for you to stay at.
Po, you have 100 gold for me?
Uh, no. I haven't gotten my allowance this week.
Allowance?
okay.
Enough of this. Take the road north. Follow it all the way until it begins to curve east. There will be a side street to the left. The only paved one near there. The Bear's Bounty is up that street a ways. Now get the fuck out. You're very annoying, as mercenaries tend to be.
No.
Lord, they have milk?
Before we go, where should we start? Any ideas? What would be your suggestion?
Poe kind of steps forward and, looking at his dad, he starts speaking. He's like, well, I was attacked near the bend, and that's where Father's sending you right now. So if a place to start investigating might be there. You can always go see the guards and see if they have my report still on file. I imagine they do. And also, there's been a lot of disappearances lately. And maybe they have the same problem I did?
Disappearances, are they all around your age or sex? Any similarities between all the disappearances that you can tell?
Sorry, I really don't know.
You have to ask them.
It's a large city. People go missing all the time, but this is a thing that's been happening for a while,
We do.
enough to where it got people uneasy.
What was that?
Babe, you're cutting out.
Okay, hang on. Let me kill a program or two. Stop
Before
it, Steam.
I'll say 1,000 gold, and we'll deal with the problem for you. More gold will be for discussion depending on what the problem is. But we will start with 1,000, or you can deal with this by yourself.
You want 1,000 up front?
Yes.
Persuasion.
What the fuck?
Fuck off. 500 is what you're getting. However, you come back after getting some results, and I will pay you 6,000 gold. And if you find the second part of my contract, that's going to be a lot more remunerative.
So who should we stay
So
away
I'm
from?
What now, Bree?
Who should we stay away from? Are there any particular guys in the guard that will be intimidated by our presence, or any folks around here who are used to feeding the rumor mill?
This is a major city. There are ruffians and common folk and priests and scholars and guards everywhere. I'm sure someone as resourceful as an adventuring company will find their way.
Okie dokie,
so
so free reign then. No one's off limits. Politically, we're cool.
I don't care what methods you use, as long as it can't be traced back to me. Go hog wild. Just get results.
Deal.
Rui, find results for you.
Hog
On
All right,
wild is
let's
my
get out of here.
specialty.
on the way out, I touch the desk, and a word comes up in Lexidon across the entire front of it.
Oh, what?
A word in Lexidon, giant letters, comes across the front of the desk now.
Fun.
Professor, if you're going to be like this the whole fucking time,
He's a dick.
good luck
I
getting another
guess
job.
I
Nutty
suppose
professor.
I suppose that Poe and Lord Dude don't see it because they're sitting and standing behind next to the desk.
No, they don't see it yet.
Okay.
It's
And
literally on the front of the desk. It's in Lexington.
as you guys leave, you can hear the old man muttering it's always the weird ones. The weird ones always become adventurers. So,
Says the man who was once an adventurer.
that's right. Okay, so what do you guys want to do? You're headed out of the house. You want to get in the carriage and travel to where you need to go, or do you want to do something else here?
I think we should head out to the place. What was it? That he's
Before we do, why don't we actually get some supplies? Yeah, check into the tavern and go to the market.
Okay.
Well, I think that's what Bobby was saying.
I'm curious about the potions comment, so
so
maybe
am
we
I.
should find a potion seller.
This is a large city, and you can find a lot of things here. You guys have 500 gold in your pockets from Home Dude, and an additional 1,000 from your last contract, and you've got that order from the mayor to be cashed in somewhere within the kingdom.
So lads, let's meet up at the tavern, regroup, go our separate ways for this evening, and tomorrow we'll start an investigation.
Okay, so you guys are going to the Bell's Bounty where Home Dude is setting you up.
Yes.
Where is that in the match or on the map?
Okay, he said to go north on this main road up here until you get to the bend, which is up here, right? And then it'll be up here in this area on the paved road.
Is there a armor merchant on the way or anything like that?
I guess you're gonna find out.
If I had to guess, all the merchants would be over there at the central market.
So did Bobby want everyone to go together in the carriage to the place, or could some
Yeah, I
of us,
figured.
like
You
I
can do
figured
what
we
you
all
want.
group there.
no, I'm asking the team. Did you want to go and have like a team meeting, or because I was thinking about hopping off the carriage and kind of like doing just kind of canvassing over here. But if you want to do like a team meeting thing first, then we
At
totally.
least to distribute some of the gold to see if we find any
divide the
leads.
gold and
Okay. So
Cool.
you guys, you're not up there just yet. We're doing a random encounter. It's not necessarily combat. It's something that happens in the city with you. Okay. Let me just roll a d10 here. Okay, it's a 5.
it's a 5.
Let me go to number 5. All right. You and your carriage roll through the street, having to stop every once in a while for pedestrians, guard patrols, and stopped wagons. The traffic is pretty heavy. One such time, when you stop, the wagon and pedestrian traffic is being directed around an overturned wagon shaped like a huge wine barrel with wheels. From fractured part of the cart spills a brown-green sludge that coats the cobblestone and congeals in low parts of the road.
Do we know what it is? Can anybody make a perception check to figure out what it is?
Go for it.
I was going to ask, can I do an insight so I can see if I know what the chemical is?
Yes, you can do either of these things. Rui, your perception, the liquid gives off fumes of some kind, though it is odorless. A faint cloud of something hovers in the air, and you are reluctant to breathe too heavily.
Pass
Okay.
by it without getting through it.
Yes, you can steer the wagon around. Let's see. Mr. Professor von Dilfenschmer, I'm pronouncing that correctly, yes?
Yes.
I want to offend the doctor. All right. You're rolling perception, but we've already gone over that. What did you want to do then?
I want to, because of my background, if I could do like a history or an an insight or whatever to find out what kind of component it is.
Okay, go ahead and do let's see. Do an investigation with advantage because you are a chemist, right?
Yes.
Soylent Green is people.
My God, your rolls
Yeah.
suck.
My rolls always suck.
So you bend to take a sample of the liquid. I'm guessing that's what you wanted to do. But
Yes.
a man in a black suit with a blank expression grabs your shoulder. He shakes his head slightly. Um, the man takes a deep breath and screws up his face like he's about to do something he's uncomfortable with. Uh, he speaks. His voice is higher pitched than his not inconsiderable size would have you guess. And he goes, Proprietary.
Weird.
Okay, move on.
Okay.
I want to
Proprietary?
know if there's any symbols, like if there's somebody's company on this wagon before we leave.
Yes. Roll a perception check. It's turned over, but it should be pretty easy.
Ryu, who was
Damn it.
You don't see shit.
not seen previously at all, suddenly appears behind a man and taps him on the shoulder. Ryu wants to know. Sorry. Hello. Hello. Ryu want to know who owned. What you say?
Proprietary.
Who owned. Yeah.
Me Juve. And he points to like a sign on the cart. It's got a sort of like a text in a sort of script. It says Mejuve. Mejuve.
Ryu looks at him. You Juve. What?
Mejuve.
Right? What? You Juve what? That's what I said.
No, Mejuve. And another man, like in a black suit, looks very, very similar to this guy, comes up and just tries to shoo you away. He doesn't have a bottle of water or anything to like squirt at you, but he's very insistent that everybody just clear out. And he's like, and he has like sort of the same high pitched sort of voice. He's like, very dangerous. Move on now.
At the
What kind
second,
of day?
at the
what time
second that hold on, at the second that any of those two guys both take their eyes off of Rui at the exact same time, she's gone in an instant. Just
All right, they look around for a moment, but their expressions never really change. Like they always have sort of a blank expression on their face, and they go back to working. They're scrubbing things and getting it like all huddled together so they can start scooping it up or spraying it down.
I want to make a sleight of hand to steal some of it.
Okay,
Gonna fail, but let's do it.
let's try it.
What time of day is it?
It's in the afternoon still. Jesus, dude.
God, what is your...
You get it on you.
All right, so you you scoop your hand down to get some with your vial, like a glass vial. The vial breaks and the substance gets all over your fucking hand and it burns. Rui, are you trying to steal some as well?
yes, I somehow gain a flask from Durfurfurfurf and grab up some or have a flask. I don't know how I get some, but I get some.
Okay. First, you're going to steal a flask. I'm talking like you now, a frask. Steal a flask from Professor von Dilfenschmer with the sleight of hand. Okay, that 23 is cool. And you're stealthy enough to where nobody sees you. Now do a sleight of hand to get your sample, but without anyone seeing you. Good enough. All right, so you get a good sample of the substance there. It appears to congeal and sort of move around in the container unnaturally. Um, and so far, you don't see anything else with it. But Professor von Dilfenschmer, whenever it's exposed to his living flesh, you can see it has sort of a degrading property that pretty much causes little growths to appear on your skin.
Ugh.
and you hate everything about it.
Yes, well,
Are we taking damage from it?
I stow it in my pack and return to the shadows before anybody knows that I've done anything.
Okay,
So now that it's on my hand, can I do a medicine check to see what the hell is going on with my hand?
go ahead.
I'd like to, walk up and offer to take his hand off for him since it doesn't look so good.
Congratulations, Professor. It's tumors.
Interesting.
That is what your character would say for sure.
Hey, Dilfenschmer, you want me to take that hand for you?
Be gone, metal man, before I break you and reconstruct you into a form of a lady's flaccid.
Pull my sword and put it to his throat and say, "Hey, you want to reconsider that, boy?"
A lady's what?
I pulled out my great weapon, and then I pulled out a potion out of my side pocket and be like, "Don't try me, metal man. You don't want to see the other side."
I look at Nightshade and say, "Honey, the children are fighting again, dear."
You want me to pull out my weapon and kill him now, or what? I'll do it.
Well, this is starting off with a bang.
I'm just gonna keep staring at Dilfenschmer. Trying to throw an intimidation check, I guess. Does that work against him? Can you do an imposing check against your other players?
You guys have to roll together. Your intimidation versus his.
That's fun.
Oh god, this is gonna suck.
It does suck. All right.
Finally,
So-
Becky, you roll a good roll. All right, Fuse backs down, puts his weapon away, and huffs off.
You're not worth it.
I took that potion back into the side pocket very carefully.
All right, you guys ready to move on from this scene?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you continue on your way up the street. One more random occurrence here. A 10. Okay. Oh, this one. Okay. Who's driving the wagon, by the way?
I guess Bobby.
I need to know for no reason.
It used to be Azarek, but Azarek's not around.
So you roll down the wide street unmolested, at least for now. Traffic is heavy, but not so thick that you can't steer the horses. It helps to have undead creatures as a means of conveyance, as even if mundane folks don't know it, something in their subconscious directs them to give your team a wide berth. You are forced to stop suddenly, however, as a naked man is bodily shoved from a building's doorway to your right, landing directly in front of your cart's wheels.
Well,
Wait,
Roll
what just happened?
roll an animal handling check to see if you can steer the team to stop fast enough.
What was thrown there? I'm sorry. I
A
missed
naked
A
dude.
naked
dude.
man.
It's good. Okay, so you successfully stop the carriage before running the man over. Out of the door where the naked man came from, stomps a minotaur. Its hooves clomping over cobblestone with a force that you can feel in your chest. It bellows, "Don't come back, sick fuck!" The man, for his part, drunkenly climbs to his feet, using your horse's leg to steady himself until he's fully upright. He points a finger at you at first. Then he jerks in surprise and seeing you are not the original target of his ire. Then he turns 90 degrees to face the Minotaur. So, "This is no way to treat a man of House Talbray. I can have your license revoked with the right word in the right ear." And the Minotaur, he shakes his fist at the guy. He's like, "You'll come back. I cut you."
I'd like to do a perception check to see what's going on around us while this is happening.
Okay.
Talbray.
There are people staring at you guys, and inside the doorway you see some figures moving around, but you don't see anything else.
You infected me with your bad rolls.
Yeah.
So the person who got thrown outside, is it a man, boy, kid? What's going on?
He's a dude. He's a man. So
20.
I'll have you know, I made a perfectly reasonable request, and I offered to supply the Mijuv. And then the Minotaur, he looks like he should have steam coming out of his ears. You can't tell exactly on a cow face, but he looks like he's ready to charge. His nostrils are flaring, and he's very upset. He's like, "You cut Shay!" And I offered to fix that. Gods, why didn't I stick to respectable establishments? This would never happen at the Folly. They know how to treat a man.
By the Mijuve.
I have no idea what's going on, but move, boy. I'm trying to get by.
And you almost hit me with your stupid cart. What are you, selling vegetables or whatever the fuck?
Ryu appears behind him, taps him on the shoulder. Ryu thinks Cart is not stupid.
He is quite surprised at a cat person appearing right next to him. He reaches for his non-existent belt. He is naked still. He reaches down at his waist to try to draw steel, but there's nothing there.
But
Now,
dangly bits.
you got two things here.
Ryu looks at him. You look funny with no fur.
You look funny with all your fur. Can I have my clothes back, please? And the Minotaur is already just walking back inside. No one says anything about his clothes.
Ryu hear you say the Mijuve?
Yeah, Majuve.
You have the Mijuve?
Not on me, as you can see.
Where you get the Mijuve?
Get your own.
I
Where
think
you
she's
get the
asking,
Mijuve?
what is it?
It's healing potions. Locally made healing potions. What, you guys aren't from here?
Bobby
Where
reaches
you
into
get?
bag and grabs the loincloth, the troll loincloth we had at the other campaign,
Okay.
and hands it to him. Cover yourself up, man. There's children.
This smells like bull sack.
It's better than being naked.
I don't know. So the guy at least covers up his front side. He says, "Well, you guys almost hit me. Thank you for not doing so. Maybe I can go in and try to convince him to give me some clothes. Or at least my clothes.
Good luck there.
Ryu still want to know where you get the Mijuve.
Just get it from me, Juve. Any vendor will give it to you."
And Home Dude looks back at the house and poof, Ryu is gone from existence again.
And the guy walks away. He's like, "Fucking country bumpkins."
Well, that just happened. They said that stuff was healing potions. Didn't it fuck up your hand, Professor?
I don't know what kind of things they think they're peddling, but if that's what they're peddling here, I've got some snake oil in the back.
The Poe said that they don't do potions.
I can
here.
see why that does that to your skin. I can imagine what it does to you if you drink it.
So
Very
can I use
interesting.
healing word to heal the tumors?
Yes. I don't think cancer's really a thing in D&D. They've got healing spells and shit.
Then I will pull out my own special little blend of healing and sprinkle it on my arm. And by doing so, I cast healing word, healing it back.
Okay. The growths on your hand clear up and the skin gets a little bit better.
Can I look at the door to see if there's a sign or something right there to see if it what kind of establishment that was the Minotaur
Okay.
was in?
Go ahead.
What did he say the name was? Oh no, he said the other one.
What is that? An
Never
insight?
mind.
He mentioned a different place. Well,
Yeah.
okay, you don't need a perception check for this. This is definitely a brothel, and it's just called Dandy's.
Ah,
Sounds like Bobby's kind of place.
maybe
Is
they
that
cater to orc.
D-A-N-D-Y apostrophe S or D-A-N-D-I-E-S?
It's the plural of dandy. Yeah.
I guess we're off again.
What was the
Interesting city.
name of the other brothel that he said?
The Folly. That's what he said.
What was his name? The House of what?
Talbray.
Halbray.
Okay. So you guys are moving on in your carriage. You guys have had a good time so far. You come to the bend. Wagon and foot traffic are much thicker here because there's a curve in the road that goes around the divide, the big chasm in the middle of town. There is a bridge at the middle of town where the foot traffic can go across, but heavy things like carts and stuff have to go around. The road is more well worn, and businesses that you can see seem to target the working class traveler. Multiple restaurants, bars, brothels, transport services, money changers, guards for hire, cartwrights, and all manner of businesses advertise their existence here, and you have a lot of time to peruse the various signs. As you go, you see guards with flags waving down wagons and carriages to designated spaces on the side of the street, presumably for inspection. One such cart you pass is open, and one guard pokes through the contents of a produce cart while another interviews the cart's driver. To your left, you see that paved road that Lord Homebrew was talking about that you need to go down to go to the Bell's Bounty. You can either do that or you can go further on the road, whatever you want to do.
I guess let's go to Bell's Bounty. What do y'all think? Just to
Yeah,
see
let's
what
head up
we need to
to the
do
home
there.
base.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you turn off of this main thoroughfare. Nobody asked to inspect your carriage because you didn't try to move on. The the Bell's Bounty is once you find it, it's less than impressive. Um, sorry, I'm correcting a thing. Okay, from the outside, the building looks old and battered. The roof has multiple tiles missing. Two of the windows sport wood instead of glass, and the door sits badly in a doorframe that is visibly crooked. You suspect that the wind goes through this place like a sieve, and you look forward to the prodigious amount of creaking the place does overnight. Inside isn't too much better. Aside from your people, the place is empty except for the innkeeper and one drunk passed out in the corner on a chair with a missing arm. The bar looks like it needed cleaning months ago, and the mugs sport a slightly less obvious layer of grime. The innkeeper, a half elf with greasy hair and a perpetual frown, gets up from his stool behind the bar and raises one of his eyebrows as if to ask you if you're in the right place. He leans over the bar, striking his best professional barkeep pose, and he goes, "What can I get for you?"
A couple of rooms were provided for us. The ghouls. Do we have a reservation yet?
Hmm. You the mercenary guys?
Yes.
All right. I had an order come in for mercenaries who are gonna be staying here. Who hired you, by the way? I need to know.
No, you don't.
Oh, it was worth a try. That would have been worth something out there. Okay, so there's two rooms upstairs you can have. I've also been told that you have a bar tab, a running tab that somebody will be by to pay it for you.
Great.
And food.
Yes, we do serve food in the morning and in the evening.
But we have a special accommodation. We have a dinosaur.
The dynasty. That thing?
Yep.
It's cute.
Thank you.
Rui pipes up. Why you look at me? No, look at that. Points at Mr. Bitey.
Right. Are they housebroken?
They now.
The cat
Bitey is.
and the dinosaur.
I know Bitey is.
I'm gonna say yes.
Rui looks behind herself as if they're not looking at her and looking at someone else. Rui's like, Ru, how housebroken? Ru, what?
Well, as long as you use the
Great.
litter box outside, we're going to be just fine.
Ritter box. Offensive jackass.
He hears you, but he definitely doesn't give a shit.
We will also need a room for us to stow and have accommodations for other items.
Your belongings, huh? All right. I can give you a room for that.
And the carriage, do you know where we can actually put that damn thing?
There's a carriage house down the street, as well as a stable.
How
What is?
safe is it?
What's your name now?
Oh, sorry. I'm Bobby. Bobby McManus.
Bobby McManus, and you guys said you were the ghouls.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the ghouls and the cages.
All right. So here, I've got
Okay.
3 keys here. 2 for the rooms, the third for the luggage stowage, and like I said, the carriage house and the stable is down the street.
We're gonna need all of the keys for the luggage room.
All the keys. I only have the one.
Yeah, I feel like there's another somewhere.
Put a check to see if he's telling the truth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not mad. I don't remember which one I'd roll for that.
Oh, do an insight. Definitely telling the truth.
Okay, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah, he's telling the truth.
My rolls are my rolls are so crap.
Okay.
Okay, he's not
I
telling the
rolled
truth.
also.
Eventually, someone was going to get it.
Yeah. I feel like you're not telling me everything. I'm gonna need all the keys.
We
All
don't
the-
want our stuff to go missing now.
I have to rent rooms to other people too.
No, I don't mean for all the rooms. I just mean for that room.
The extra key for the room for you to open.
All right, all right. You guys look like you were new in town. I thought I would, I don't know, make an extra buck. Here you go. He hands you 2 more keys from behind the counter.
I'd like to roll another check to see if that's now he's telling the truth.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this time he's giving you all the keys to your rooms that you've got going on up there.
Oh, you ruined all the fun. I was already planning to have a little bit more fun with people here.
Now,
Thank you.
I haven't been told a lot of details about your stay. What are you guys doing here? What are you going to need from me? Not that I don't
Just-
mind the business, by the way. I just want to make sure my bar isn't torched in some kind of thing.
You just
We'll
need
give you
room and
details
board.
as we know them. Currently, we're good.
Very well. I've been prepaid for this, so you're welcome to do what you want to do.
As long as you have the small bottle of milk at each meal, I will not eat you.
This is a bar? I mean, sure. Why don't you roll an intimidation check to see if he believes you're eating thing. All right. He says, yeah, I can get some milk for you every morning, right?
Every meal. We'll
Every
figure it out.
every meal. Yes, I know a guy with a cow.
Also, we're gonna need a lot of meat. Like a lot of meat. All
That
the
was
time.
the special accommodations we were talking about.
Yeah.
Indeed. I was told that there were carnivorous people traveling with you, and I've made some arrangements to get some meat. And long as you're not too picky about quality, we've got plenty.
Well,
You have cow out back?
Not anymore.
well, Bitey is a doctor, and he is a discerning dinosaur. So just keep that in mind.
Bobby raises his eyebrow and like, okay.
We've got plenty of doctors in town. The academy is a major landmark. The reason people come to this city a lot of the time.
We're definitely gonna check that out.
So,
Yep.
would y'all be so kind to check the accommodations? I'm gonna go drop off the carriage.
Is everything okay with Sam, Destiny?
Yeah, he'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Where do you guys want to start your investigation, or do you even want to start yet?
I want to discuss as a group which one of us are going to go where. I would like to go to like the bank apparently to drop off this missive to get more money back.
I want to go towards the central market and then maybe towards either the academy or guard shack to see, and the clerics, and go talk to them as well.
So I also like to ask how much gold do we each have now? I'm broke.
Ren doesn't have a whole lot of use for money, so I've got
This is a
a
big
lot.
city. You might find, a new bow or new armor.
Good point.
But then again, it's her
But
character. She can play her how she wants.
True.
if you need however much we've got, actually I don't have any money
So
written
we
on my
had
character
1,000
sheet.
gold
But
from the last time we had to divide between us.
I think Bubba wrote that out somewhere, didn't you?
Say that one more time. I didn't catch it. It's still a little laggy on my end.
You wrote out like how much money we all got from the last campaign, didn't you? You
I
shared
did.
it somewhere.
And Discord, give me a minute. It may take me a minute to find it.
It was 1,000 gold for the initial contract. The next one was a writ that he sent with you guys. So it's 1,000 gold divided up among, what was it, 6 people?
Yeah, and there was some more.
That's
It was
166 gold.
Yeah, but that would have gone to Melk and any of the previous characters.
That's right.
Well, I was here the whole time.
And you have 500 gold walking around money.
And then we got to divide that up between us.
Yes.
okay.
Can someone put
So
all those numbers in the chat?
give me a second. I'll put out your numbers for everything in chat. Just a minute.
Okay. Bobby, you can have my walking around money share.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Although I really would like to go check out the whatchamacallit, the dudes. I already forgot their name. The started with an M.
Mijuv.
Yeah,
Mijuv.
Mijuv. Them.
So, taking the 500 gold, dividing between us, we get 83 gold apiece. Oh yeah, he does it better.
No, that's just for her old contracts. That's what she had when she got here. I haven't even got to.
But
Bobby, you spent all your money, right? So you don't get none of this stuff from the last one right now.
I get nothing for the last one. I spent every single penny of it to build the place.
Ren's
Oh
been
yeah, you guys did your little secret squirrel campaign part of that, didn't you?
not yet. I mean, they've got the place built, but we're gonna have to do the secret squirrel thing together sometime.
Yeah, I kept 10 gold out of my cut. So that's all I've got left
So-
currently.
I'm a fresh character, so you're stating that everybody gets 83 gold from the.
Well, there's the walking around money. There's that's 500 gold that we could split, which is 100 gold per person.
There's 6 of us.
There's 6 of us.
So 83 for each.
So that's
Yeah.
what per person?
83 per person.
And I took Rin, so that's 166 for me.
Don't forget, that's also 33 silver to go with it. That's 83 gold and 33 silver per person.
I figure Guildhall, you used all your money and we're all going to benefit from it, so you can have mine.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
83 gold, 33 silver.
And so Nightshade still has 71 gold and 43 silver from the last one too. She's the only other person here that got some stuff. Well, milk did, but you're not on milk, so
Yeah,
no.
milk has the 214 and 29.
Cool. Well, lads, I suggest we go our separate ways. I'm gonna go try to find a bank to cash this missive. Where's everyone else gonna go? Just so we can
Right.
keep tabs on each other.
I'm gonna go with Bobby and make sure that he's protected once he gets the money cashed.
You know, that was one thing that the dad, I forgot his name, whatever, said that they don't walk around alone anymore.
Yes, we
Lord
should go in groups.
Corvitas.
Yes, him. So I feel like we should maybe stay at least in pairs.
I plan to go to the market and browse their wares,
I'll go
and then
with you.
possibly hit the barracks up and see what the guard has to say.
Quick question for you, Pato, about money. I've got everything broke down as silver goes into copper, but I didn't realize electrum was between silver and copper, or silver and gold.
Nobody uses Electrum. Don't worry about it. Electrum is dumb and nobody uses it.
Cool.
Anything called
So-
Electrum should be worth more, not less.
I thought it was going to be right up there with platinum or something. I didn't realize it broke down as being between gold and silver.
Yeah, no
Yeah, but
worries.
nobody uses it because it's only 5 silver per one, and gold is 10. So it's weird.
I'm
Wait,
gonna go with the dildo.
okay, hold on a second. So
To the
one
market.
was 10 silver. I've been doing it on a base 100, not a base.
It's fine. I'll account for this
Copper
in the shop
is 10
prices.
silver.
Can we do base 100?
If we did it base 10, we'd have a lot more money.
Oh, well, maybe we should do base 10 then.
Yeah,
I'd have to go back
silver
and
is 10
see.
copper and 10 gold or 10 silver is 1 gold. 10 gold is 1 plat.
Oh, Jim, redo the math.
Can we just max out on gold? Not worry about platinum at all.
I will do everything in gold here.
Okay,
I've got a
So-
list of prices and stuff for shops.
Okay.
so let's not worry about
Let's not worry
silver
about
then.
silver. Let's not worry about none of that.
Thank
Just
you,
no
D&D
platinum.
Beyond. They have a whole equipment price list.
It makes things so much easier. But that's stuff
Okay.
expensive.
It wouldn't. The only thing that it would change is a few gold for each person. That's all it would change. Because we start out in gold increments, and I just was adding the silvers together in 100 counts, not anything else.
Fine.
Super fine where we're at.
Yeah, it most would give us 3 or 4 more gold at most each.
All right, so me and Miss Wren are going to go towards the central market. Bobby McManus and Fuse will be going to the bank. Where's Lady Nightshade and Rory going?
Did we magically put all our stuff in that room?
Yeah, everything's put up. Everything's locked. That we want, which
I
is
think-
nothing.
I think Rui and Nightshade are gonna walk the streets, basically.
Random encounter.
Observe the town.
Oh, one of you guys is getting a random encounter. Depends on who rolls the highest or the lowest.
So a question about Dr. Bitey. Is he of a large enough stature now that he could get a small bit of armor?
That's a good question.
Or be able to be a pack animal?
He could get armor.
You probably have to get
That's
it made,
awesome.
but yes.
Ooh, cool.
You want your gold back.
No. I told you it was there for a reason, so I'll just make some money. And I have
Ren still
more
got
gold.
240 gold.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, the poor people are me and Sam.
I only have 85 gold.
I've got 30.
I rounded to 85 because he said more, a couple pieces, blah, blah, blah.
That sounds
I've
good.
got
to me.
93
That sounds
gold
good.
and gold left over.
All right. Let's be off.
On your six,
Be
Bobby.
back here by nighttime.
Okay, so
If not, first thing in the morning.
off you all go. Let me roll my little dicey dice.
Is there anything like a
I seen it.
flare we could use, Pato, for this game? I mean, is there anything in D&D like that?
A what now?
Pop-up flare we could shoot into the air or throw up to signal?
Yeah, those are out there.
Yeah, some sort of signal so that as we split, if some of us get into an issue and need help, like they could shoot off the flare, and it's so many after so many turns, others of us could show up to
I don't
assist.
think we actually have any.
Yeah, you could go buy one, I guess.
That's what I'm getting
Yeah, we
at.
need to figure that out.
For doing that. I mean, I know we don't have anything now, but
Well, so let's say we meet up back at the room in the next couple hours or a certain time, and if the other person's not there, then we know. At least it'll give us a window.
And Bobby said dark. He said come back once nightfall happens.
Yeah.
If not,
So
first
if-
thing in the
Yeah, let's just check in at night, and maybe at the market we'll look for some sort of communication something.
Well, if someone happens to run into an establishment of ill repute and wishes to stay the night there, I don't think we should get worried about that.
Well, they can damn sure check in at midnight or at nightfall, and then
Yes,
go
Mom.
back out to their ill repute.
You've all got a curfew.
Just to check in,
I'm
so we know
already-
you're not dead,
All right, so
says the teenager.
you guys are all off on to your destinations. What I want you to do is everyone roll a d20. Whoever gets the lowest roll is going to get the random encounter.
Says the true neutral teenager. Sorry.
You should have just said, it's going to go to you.
Dilf.
come on.
Durfer Schmurfer.
All right, so who's with Professor Von Dildo or whatever?
Me.
Okay,
Oh, come on.
That would be me.
Dilfenschmer?
yes.
Dilf.
Okay, we're going to take care of this first, and then you guys will deal with everybody else's destinations too.
Then bio for David.
Okay. You guys are rolling through the street. Lots of foot traffic, lots of wagon traffic, like we talked about before. It's got cobblestone on the street and everything. One such time, whenever you guys are stopped behind a kerfuffle or a snag in the traffic, a procession of a dozen men in top hats gathered in a loose formation around a banner with a crude razor stitched onto a crimson background are gathered there. A drummer plays a solemn, methodical marching tune, and the men all keep in step. To a man, they are all armed with multiple sharp cutting implements like knives, daggers, and razors. Others on the street give the group a wide berth, some doing their best to duck into shops or find other paths to take wherever they're going. What would you like to do?
I kind of nudge Dilf and be like, I really like their hat. I wonder if I can buy one.
Buy.
More.
Always pick one up from their, melted body if you wanted.
Oh my. That sounds like fun. Just kidding.
Or are you?
Maybe not. What the hell are they doing? So weird. This town is so freaking weird.
Yeah, all these guys are in like a procession. They're all in formation. They're marching up the street towards some
Do they
destination.
Do they take up the entire street?
Pretty much. That's why people are trying to leave the street and get away from them. They're in front of you and they're going slower than you are, and they're going away from you.
Looks serious. Let's follow him.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. You guys can
Right,
respectfully keep your
inconspicuous
distance, or are
dinosaur.
you going to like get right up on their shit, or what?
We just kind of stroll. I'm saying we just like stroll along behind them. Try on, see things in shops. Big dinosaur is not gonna hide very well anyway.
I'm going to act like I'm marching behind them.
All right. So one of you respectfully keeps their distance and waits for the procession to get where it's going. One of you is being a dick and walking right behind the parade of men. At first, they don't notice you, but eventually they reach an intersection and turn left, and it clears your way. Do you want to follow them, or do you want to just go on your merry way?
Go back with Ren and see what she wants to. If she wants to continue to see if they go somewhere fun.
I just kind of laugh, probably a little bit too loudly, um, at Dilf. That's my new favorite name for you, by the way. Um, I'm just gonna kind of laugh and maybe like I don't know if I'm eating some berries or something and throw a couple at him. Maybe one hits a soldier at the end or whatever, and just kind of in a jocular way half follow them, I guess. If they're going very far, I don't know, maybe we don't want to follow them too far if they're going out of our way, but keep an eye on them perhaps. What do you think?
I'm always down for a little educational fun, my dear.
All right.
Here.
I know I don't want to fight an entire brigade, but
So the procession continues on into a working class portion of town. Citizens consistently rush to get out of the men's way, except for one old man who seems unable to clear the street quickly enough. His legs shakily bear him across the thoroughfare, but slowly. The front rank of top hatted men get within about 10 feet of the old man, and to your surprise, they draw their weapons in unison, never breaking stride. Every blade carries the sheen of well maintained steel. One brave woman rushes from the doorway of a nearby house and practically drags the old man out of the street and into the gutter, barely making it in time before the men in top hats are within arm's reach. The weapons stay drawn, but none of the men attack. Eventually, the parade comes to a halt in a sort of cobbled cul-de-sac with a street lamp posted dead center. A man with one eye and lamb-chop sideburns steps forward and turns back to the assembled men. This is where our brother found his final rest. Attacked, mutilated, mauled, eaten. Today, we celebrate George's life, but we also swear vengeance upon his killer. Today, we swear by blood that his murderer is considered the walking dead. He dips his hand into one of his front pockets on his coat, producing a small shaving razor. He then proceeds to make a shallow cut just below his one working eye. The rest of the formation does the same. They all now have blood dripping down from one of their eyes like crimson tears. Razors are all put back into pockets. Today, we begin the hunt. And then with a cheer, the men disperse. They disappear into doorways, side streets, alleyways, and Lamb Chop is the last to go.
I kind of probably too loudly again look at Dilf and I'm like, what dicks? Dang. Over
Well,
the
clearly,
Malifaux?
my dear, we can see that they're obviously upset about their fallen comrade.
Do you think it's one of the guys where that's missing or wait, one of the guys that went missing from what Home Dude said? Do you think it's related? That's what I was trying to ask.
I'm going to do something right now, Bree, but don't take offense to it.
It's okay.
Are you not paying any attention, my dear? Anyone with any semblance of intelligence would see that they are clearly after the same creature that we are. They are clearly our competition in this, and perhaps we
Ooh,
should throw a wrench into their plans.
that's well, yeah, that sounds fun. Sort
Okay,
of.
you guys form a plan for that, and I will deal with some of these other guys, and we'll come back to you
Okay.
two, okay?
Bobby's back.
Okay.
Okay,
Hey, let's do it in chat.
okay, so Rui, or Ryu? Is it Ryu?
No, it's Rui.
Rui, and Nightshade. Where are you guys going?
we are going to basically just kind of observe. So we're just gonna like walk through the alleys from house to house, just attempting to observe the observable. Not really trying our best to avoid bumping into people. Maybe skirting rooftops if need be. Just kind of doing the cat thing, you know.
Okay, sounds good.
And Nightshade's just gonna hang out on my shoulder and stuff.
Okay, so you
On the
guys
back.
are up on top of rooftops, you're in alleyways and such, right? You're stalking through the streets, and you come upon a sort of wider street, and you see something happening in front of you that's actually kind of interesting. There is a group of men in black suits and cloaks that cross in front of you. They cross the street. As each passes you, they all eye you and or they eye the building that you're on top of with some suspicion, and they cross. And as they go, all the men look similar, like extremely similar. They all have the same clothes on, and they all, from this distance, look like they have sort of similar features on their face.
Okay. I guess can I roll? Can we roll
Yes.
something to try to figure out what they are?
You want to perception check it?
Sure.
Okay, Rui, your perception is pretty good. What about you, Nightshade? You doing it too?
Yes, sorry.
It's okay. All right, you both have pretty good eyes. All these men look similar, like extremely similar. After they've all crossed, you might even say they all looked exactly the same. Like either they are all related or they all look exactly the same. And as they pass, after they're a little bit out of sight, Rui, you remember your close encounter with a man that looks exactly like that in front of the Mijuv wagon that you guys were at and you got the sample from.
Uh-huh. Can we follow out of sight?
Yeah. Hold on. You start up for a moment. You guys get ready to go and you're about to jump down, but you jerk to a stop when a skinny man in robes darts out in front of you again, crossing the same way that the men in black did. He nearly bowls into one of like a passing cart as it goes by on the street, and the guy clumsily gets onto his feet and gets out of the street until he's out of reach. He apologizes to the guy driving the cart and the horses for some reason, and then he looks in the direction the men in black went, and he jogs that way, seemingly looking for something.
Huh. We find this peculiar and interesting. Um, Rui mentions to Nightshade, Ruh-roh, we follow the bad man in the croak or the skinny man in the croak.
Yes, we should stop that one, the straggler, and play dumb and question him.
Okay.
All right. So make a skill check. Let's see. Let's call it insight on the man in the robes. All right. The man is obviously not with the men in black. He is the what you guys know about stealth and stalking. You can tell that he is trying to stalk these men, but doing it very badly.
So, can we follow the both of them to their destination to the point where we stop the skinny dude before he does something stupid once the other cloak dudes reach their destination?
Yeah. You can do this however you want.
because I'd like to question Skinny Dude, but I want to follow the cloaky dudes to wherever they're going before, like, I want to make sure that we get to wherever we're going. They're going before we tap Home Dude on the shoulder.
Okay, so you guys are going to stalk him stealthily, right?
Yes, please.
All right, so both of you roll a stealth check. Pass.
Question: does does she get like stealth with advantage because she's riding on my shoulder at all,
Hmm,
or is she so tiny?
that's a good question. So she is on your shoulder, or is she running?
No, no, no. She's riding me.
Okay, I'll take the one passing stealth check. All right, so
Okay.
you passed. The man in the robes is clearly out of his element. He seems to be tailing the men in black, bumping into passers-by, kicking up loose rocks at times, or even tripping over his own feet. The men he follows never give any indication that they notice the man in the robes, and they keep going. Down an alley, around a corner, the gaps between buildings are narrower now, and the city could really use a central planner considering how many blind alleys you've gone down. You see the man in robes stop at an intersection and look around worriedly. He waffles for a moment and takes off running to the left.
Is this where I say something?
What do you want to do?
What is he running after? Is the skinny dude running after the cloaky dude?
As far as you know, yeah. Looks like he waffled on his decision for a moment and ran that way.
Then I guess we're gonna stealthily follow them some more.
All right, my bad. Okay, sorry. So do another perception check. He's going pretty fast, and you're going to try to keep him in sight. Ew.
Wow.
Ew. Okay, that's a fail. All right. The man in robes must have taken a few turns before you can lay eyes on him again, and he seems to have finally given you the slip, intentionally or not. The acoustics here are strange, and though you can hear footsteps, it's impossible to tell if they are the man in the robes or where they're coming from. Eventually, you hear a high pitched shriek somewhere up ahead. Following the sound, you come upon a body slumped beside a pile of garbage, throat cut. It's the man in the robes for sure, though they are soiled and soaked in blood now.
Oh, we're talking about the skinny dude, right?
Yeah, the dude in the robes, he's dead in front of you. His throat's been cut.
Can I make a check? Which one? I don't know. To investigate to see if I can figure out who and or what killed him. Meaning, like, since I am a cat, maybe a smell or a keen eyesight to see any defining markers.
Sure, sure. Roll an investigation with advantage since you're using your kitty cat senses.
A lion.
That's not good.
Whoa, gosh darn.
Nightshade, you want to do one too? Investigation?
Okay, hold on.
Not great. All right, so you guys know enough to see that his belongings are gone. The string on his purse is cut, like his purse is missing, and there's a cut string there. There is, you can see that he died by exsanguination. You know, his throat's been cut, and when you're pawing around on him, there's a name stitched into his robe that reads Professor Simone Catrissus.
I'd like to cut that section of the robe out and keep it with me.
Okay.
Hold on. What was that name? Professor Simone.
Simone Catrissus. I'll copy it into the chat here. All right. So, you guys are good for now. Let's see, Bobby, we haven't gone to you yet. You were going to get your shit cashed, right?
Yes.
All right. Let me go to that. All right. So after going to a couple places in the city, uh, asking around and such, banks aren't exactly telling you that paper is good here. They send you to the Wilton Administration Building, which is fairly impressive compared to the mayor's house in Vanger, that's for sure. There's lots of marble, open spaces, a dome ceiling with skylights. Impressive as all those things are, though, it's still a government building. Upon entering, you are made to take a number and sit until a clerk calls you over to hear your request. Uh, when this happens, you go up to a desk and you see a bespectacled man that almost never looks up from his papers. He looks super bored. He's like, "Yes."
We got this missive from a mayor in the town down the road.
He takes the paper, never really meeting your eye. He looks it over for a moment. He says, "I see. Did the kingdom a service, did you? We appreciate that, even if it's not local. That should net you 5,000 gold at least. I'm not authorized to give the funds to you directly, however. I must call my supervisor. Wait here, please."
All right.
As he doesn't really give you any indication that he's gonna, like, he doesn't give you any chance to really say anything, but he gets up, goes to the back, and you hear like a shuffling back there, and he comes back with a balding man with a scrunched up face, and the supervisor comes up to the desk. He says, "Oh, yes, yes. I see everything seems to be in order here. What did you say you did for this town, Vanger?"
We took care of a bit of a monster problem they had there.
"A monster problem, you say? What kind of monsters?"
Nightmarish little things that kept stealing the people. Then they created a, say, Walking Dead tree. Then they tried to kill the village. Then there was witches we had to do. It's a bunch of things.
Ah, yes, the whole adventurer fair thing. I get it. The seal looks legitimate, at least. This is non-commissioned work, so as a duly appointed clerk of the kingdom, I would like to offer you 2,000 gold as your reward.
I'm sorry?
2,000 gold. It's a standard fare for a thing like this.
But the missive said 5.
The missive doesn't say anything like that. It says the kingdom is to reward you for your work. 2,000 gold.
That gentleman right there just said 5,000 gold.
Are you watching porn in the background?
No, my wife likes watching this anime that does all the yelling like that.
Okay. Well, anyway, so the supervisor looks over at the clerk like, "Motherfucker, you didn't say anything, did you?" And the clerk kind of looks toward his paper. He won't meet the other guy's eyes. Supervisor says, "Hmm, uh, my clerk may have been mistaken. All I'm saying is that 2,000 is what I am authorized to give you."
Who can be authorized to give us our full amount?
"Oh, it's me. You'll be dealing with me the entire time, and 2,000 is what you get."
Bobby, I think you
I'm
speak
about
your
to,
supervisor.
about to authorize your ass. Sorry.
I do an insight check or something to see if he's lying to me.
Go ahead.
What do you want?
Insight, please. Ew. That's pretty good. So
Oh,
Bobby knows this guy is running a fucking scam on you. The clerk obviously said 5,000 at first, and this guy is lying to you.
I reach out and grab the document and start to read over it.
Okay, the document says that you are to be rewarded for your service to the town of Vanger. You went above and beyond your duties and are to be rewarded at the highest adventurer's rate.
Do you have a missive or piece of paper or something that tells you your rates?
No, nothing like that here. That changes from day to day.
Uh huh.
Listen, I would love to help you. I'd love to negotiate, but the kingdom does not allow me to negotiate these fees. Fuse,
What?
what's your insight for?
All right, that was before you started talking the second time to see if he was lying about the rates.
Oh yeah, he's lying. You suspect that he is looking to pocket the money behind the table as he hands you the reduced rate.
Can I do a perception check to see what's going on around us? If there's guards and other people we should be worried about in this situation?
Sure, you can do that. All right, there is a bored-looking guard at the door behind you guys. He's not looking your way. Where you are at this particular desk, there is a line of sight issue with the nearest guard that's at the door. Like, there's a few screens between you guys and him. Behind these two, there's a doorway that seems to lead into like the back workings of the building. You're not sure what's back there, but seeing as how the supervisor came out of there, that's probably where they keep whatever gold they're authorized to give out to you guys. There's a couple of counters near you guys, although they're not occupied. There's people doing business around you everywhere, though. Like there's people walking up to counters and talking to people and such.
Are there any other, I guess, bank employees? Somebody that looks important, similar to this guy, that's in the area?
Well, this is not a bank. This is a government building. It's an administration office. Um, there's quite a few clerks and stuff behind the desks.
On your leave here, Bobby.
Listen here, little toad. As Bobby looks at him in the eye. I am not here to try to argue, but you will pay the full amount.
No, I am telling you, I am giving you the full amount of 2,000 gold as your reward. And I could even throw in a 500 gold bonus for your trouble. I know you expected more, but the kingdom is in hard times. Every now and then the market crashes and we have to really pick up the pieces around here. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're lying to me. I know you're lying to me. Because if you weren't able to negotiate, why would you give me an extra 5?
He reaches over to the desk and he picks up like a little stone on the desk and flips it over on its top. And you can Bobby, you're a warlock. You can sense a bit of magic coming off of it. And he looks down at his clerk. He's like, uh, uh hold on. What the fuck is this guy's name? Phil. I'm gonna call him Phil. Right? He goes, Phil, am I not telling the truth to these nice men? And the clerk, still not meeting your eyes and not meeting his either. He's trying to get lost in his papers down there. He says, yeah, I guess. And he shrugs his shoulders. And the a couple armed men, a couple armed guards walk up out of the door the supervisor came from and come to the desk. And they're like, and they say, is there a problem here?
Yes, he's refusing to pay me the full amount.
He's attempting to be a cheat. Do you always run people who are cheats through your government building?
Now, sir, I'm sure whatever Supervisor Cantry says to you is on the level. He is one of our more respected clerks and supervisors.
If that's the case, I think I'll go talk to this clerk over here and see if he says the same thing. Would you mind waiting a moment?
No, sir, you'll have to go through the process again of grabbing a number. But I can tell you now that Supervisor Cantry will be the man you work with. We don't play favorites here.
I'd like to do a perception check of the two guards that walked up to see what kind of arms and armament.
Right. Perception, pretty good. Let me get the page for the guard here. All right. The guard's armor's seen better days, with multiple scratches and gashes in the metal bracers and breastplate. The man himself is armed with a truncheon, like a club, and a crossbow, as is his partner.
They've seen better days. Are we talking leather, studded, chain, plate?
They've got chain with a bit of plate reinforcement.
think I need to confer with my colleague here. Grab Bobby and step away for a minute.
And as you guys step away, you can see the guards exchange like a little tiny smile between the two of them. And the supervisor looks like a smug bastard as you guys step away from the desk.
Bobby, I want to punch these guys really hard and with my sword. Or my
Uh,
Morning Star.
Shall we?
But we may not get our money if we do this. And it's not just you and me that will suffer if we mess with the government in town.
Fuck.
I'm thinking we should go bother another clerk, and one of us could keep them busy while that happens.
Is that mariachi music in the background?
No, it's that anime.
And a mariachi.
He's watching Seven Deadliest Sins.
Oh, that's a good one.
You got any other ideas, Bobby?
I think this is the man in charge, meaning all the clerks talk to him.
Fair enough. Have you got any spells that would help here?
Could try to intimidate the man.
What's the building made of? Did that perception pick up on that?
It's marble and stone.
What I thought you said. Well, if you want to intimidate him, we can give it a shot.
I still have my paper, right?
They've got it on the desk in front of them. No, wait, you've got it. You've got it.
I was reading
Back
over
a while
it.
ago.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I turn back around and go towards the man. And I start charging the blast in my hand.
While he
I-
does that, I put my hands on my weapons and get ready to draw them.
All right, you guys gonna do an intimidation?
Try to.
Go ahead.
You want me-
Not great. Also not great. So the supervisor cowers behind the desk, but the guards are less than intimidated, and they both have their crossbows in their hands right now. Thank you, Sam. You're very intimidating from over there on the other side of the road. So the guards say, I advise you to leave.
What is your name, coward?
You talking to who?
The guy who's cowering behind the desk, the supervisor?
His name was Supervisor Cantry, according to the guard.
Does this really need to escalate farther than it needs to? Because I'm telling you right now, I will make a scene here.
You already are. And no,
We just got done killing a massive monster, and we deserve our just reward. You are keeping us from it.
and you will get your reward. 2,500. Tell you what, I'll give you 3,000.
It went up.
Yes, from my own personal pocket.
Thinking 6,000 now.
No, that's not something I can do.
And that'll be out of your personal pocket if you go to 6.
And the guard steps forward and he's like, Gentlemen, I suggest you leave unless you take the 2,500 number. None of us are going home with money today if we start a fight.
Well, then, if you seem to want us to leave peacefully, I need to know the name of this man's boss. Who is in charge of your supervisor? There's somebody.
And the supervisor, he perks up and he said, I am duly appointed by the Viscount of Wellton.
I don't suppose he's here today, is he?
The guard, he leans over the desk kind of casually. His friend is covering him with the crossbow. He says, Viscount hasn't been in the city for some time, so don't expect a change of the guard around here anytime soon. You know what I'm saying?
Really wanting to go on a murder spree right now.
So, you think it's 5,000 gold worth?
The clerk apparently did. That's me
Before we
talking,
get
not the guard.
we're getting to one more thing. I'd like to try and intimidate Phil to answer my questions.
Okay.
Mr. Phil, you happen to say that it was 5,000 when we walked in, but yet now you are just cowering there while your boss tries to run something on us. I think instead that you should tell us what we really should be getting paid.
Go
And where
ahead.
does it say it was 5,000? Surely somewhere.
That's pretty good intimidation right there. Clerk Phil says, uh, the 5,000 is the standard rate for adventurers and monster problems.
So,
That's
what
all.
was the exceptional rate we were supposed to be paid?
The supervisor turns to him and gives him a really hard stare. Let me roll for him. It's not as good as yours for sure. Okay, so the supervisor's like, "Shut up, Phil." And Phil is he can't keep his eyes off of yours. Instead, he's like, "The exceptional adventure rate is negotiable, but it's normally a way above 5,000. I don't have the authority to tell you."
Do you have documentation to prove this?
No,
Um,
the supervisor usually does it. Like Kentry. Phil, you say one more word and you will be out on your ear.
So, should we slap him around?
I suggest you don't.
Hush, I'm not talking to you.
The guard is back off the desk. He's got his hand on his crossbow. The other one's got his hand on his crossbow. The guy at the door is definitely coming your way now. Excuse us, please. Supervisor Cantry has spoken up saying, "Excuse us. Phil and I have some discussions to have in the back room. Guards, I assume you will have these men handled."
They are not going anywhere. You will stay until this is done, or we will have problems.
Gentlemen,
You,
this is your last chance to leave peacefully.
this is your last chance not to get hurt. I'm pissed off, and you'll be the first person I'm going to hit with a soldier's blast.
Roll intimidation on the guard.
Also, going to be attempting, I'm grabbing my sword and getting ready to draw them.
All right. The guard, not wanting to be eldritch blasted, backs off a little bit, but he says, "Listen, you're not getting your money today, son. You better leave. You kill me, that's fine, but you will have the entire guard on your ass afterward. We work together, you know."
So, what do you suggest? This man owes us money. You're not willing to pay us.
The kingdom owes you money, and you get the fare you get.
We get the fair price of over 5,000.
Hey, I just want everybody to know that. Never mind.
What happened?
Very insightful. I enjoyed
Sorry,
it.
I've been told that I mum's the word, so I am not allowed to talk.
Okay. So, just let you know, guys, if you're going to kick shit off, I need to know if you're sure you want to do this.
God damn it. Like,
I
really
mean, if
want
government
to.
does, they're bring the rain hell down on us here in the town.
What depends? Are they going to give the 5,000 or not?
We're not.
That's the government.
Because the dudes went in the back room to discuss whether they were going to give you the $5,000 or not, right?
No,
No,
they're supposed to be staying right here because they weren't supposed to walk away.
No, he's going to go into the back room and threaten the dude with his job in life, probably.
Man, now would be a really good time to shoot that flare off.
We don't have one, and we're inside of a big building.
Yeah, so if we do fight them, we might survive.
Hey,
Okay,
Fuse, remember that magical finger you've got where you just like break your pinky sideways and your ring finger shoots off of your hand into the air and makes a bright light?
I was actually thinking that maybe since we know that we're owed more money now, that we should regroup.
Take the missive and leave. Don't let them.
I have the missive, so let's go ahead and back.
We could go to the guy that hired us, and I'm sure he has some political clout. Although I guess he doesn't want them to
He
know
doesn't
that
want us.
he
He doesn't
hired
want to
me.
get involved in this.
Yeah.
I'd like to tell the supervisor I would like his word in writing now, and we will leave peacefully.
And
Word.
where's the Viscount's estate?
My word for what?
For what you just promised us, I want it on paper.
2,500 gold.
That you are paying us the standard fare for 2,500 for doing this work, and that is the standard rate for high or dangerous work. That is what I want on paper with your signature.
He balks for a moment, takes out a piece of paper, starts writing on it, signs it, and gives it to you. And it appears to be what you want. He said, "Take it anywhere you want in the city. You'll see."
Hand it to Bobby so he can look it over. Since he's a merchant's son, he'd know more about business documents than I will.
What about written word from the clerk stating 5,000?
It's a standard fare. If the clerk,
Do you want to try to get the clerk to write standard fare equals 5,000?
but then we give word against the other. The only way we can actually tell if that's a standard fare if we look at their numbers.
Well, I mean, you could give both to the
I think Sam's got
or whoever is an official.
You think he would know the standard fare?
Viscount would definitely keep track of his gold.
Mm-hmm. Because it's the Viscount's gold.
Yeah. So we'll ask him. You know,
So,
I think we'll just
we want Phil to also write us out a missive with what he stated against what the supervisor stated.
Okay, so
all
Poor Phil.
us living peacefully.
the supervisor's got his hand on Phil's shoulder, and he's like, "Phil does not have the authority to do so. I bid you good day."
Authority. I just need him to write out his own word.
Poor Phil.
I'm sure my word and these good men of the law, our word will be good enough for you to go to the Viscount.
Bobby?
Oh, I don't want you guys to get in a fight. So if you need to back down, and we'll find Phil later, so be it.
Ooh.
Phil's getting accidented tonight.
Where does Phil live?
confused. We must be off.
Can I do a
Phil,
Find the supervisor's house, stayed outside, stalking, hunting down, and
Yeah, you guys are welcome to do any of these things.
Yeah. So
Shade and I are good at finding people.
I pulled my hands off my weapons and backed away since Bobby called it off.
And I fling Eldritch Blast towards the window and just destroy it.
Toward the what?
Sorry.
Viscount's window.
Viscount.
Or whatever the hell that dude's name is.
Oh, the supervisor's
supervisor?
window?
Supervisor window. I fuck it up. Break it.
And so the guard is like, childish, but fine.
And we leave. Pissed off.
You goddamn right. All right. So it's midnight. Do you guys want to go on, or do you want to take a break until next week?
I'm still good.
I mean, if I'm good as well. I don't have any need to go, but does everybody need to be here for it? I guess.
Yeah, I'd rather have everybody around.
Okay.
I think we're gonna go ahead and have to
Yeah.
call it. The kids are gonna wake us up at 7 a.m. like they always do, and it's gonna be ugly. So
No.
No worries, man.
Morgana is a very timely baby. She wakes up at 7 to 7:30 every day, no fail.
Okay,
No.
in that case, I appreciate you sticking around for this long anyway. Let's go over the plot threads you guys have right now, okay? Eki and Bree are out going to piss off some guys in top hats because they're your competition. Uh, Bobby and Fuse, you've got a corrupt government official that you are going after, and you're trying to get your fucking money. And Rui and Nightshade, you guys found a murdered scholar and a bunch of weird dudes in suits that he was following, and you've got that thread to pick up.
We're gonna be back at the end.
And you guys also found some evidence of Mijuv being a weird sort of substance, and yeah, there's quite a few things going on.
So when we start again, are we gonna all be back at the end?
If you say it now, sure.
Or do you want to make it back tonight, or do you want to just stay at the bank for the next session?
Right now it's just evening. I mean, we could just pause it here.
It would be good to get a rest, although actually.
Oh wait, you and Eki are going to throw some wrench into the plans of the Top Hat guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we probably can't.
We could just
I suppose pause.
we pause it here. Time has stopped in the evening, and we'll pick it up next time.